Jen. Welcome back to my craft table. Today I am going to be repurposing a canvas that had gotten damaged, and we're going to turn this into a cute little Valentine's Day sentiment that we can just have hanging around the house, be festive for the month. I think it's going to be great, and it's just a nice way to repurpose something that potentially could have been just thrown away without a second thought. So let's go ahead and head over to Design Space and get started. Okay, so here I am in Cricut Design Space, and I want to first make a box that will represent the size of my canvas. Looks like 6 by 6. Okay, so I'm going to come up here, change the width to 6, tab over, the height will automatically change to 6, and I'm going to change the color to white because I want to have the same visual effect in my design space as I hope to see in real life of my project. And then we're going to come over to shapes, and we're going to choose a heart. I'm going to use this cute vinyl that I got from Expressions Vinyl, this little sampler. I'm so excited. I did an order, and then it was a nice, like a little freebie, so I'm so excited to use it. So I resized the heart, put it in my box. I'm going to all of them, go up to a line and hit Align Center. And I'm changing this to pink because it is a pink vinyl, and it's got all of these little lips all over it. Dark pink, red, and a super, super light blood, like super light pink. So we're gonna go with that. That will be for our base layer on our canvas. I'm going to group this together and what will have in place. So I don't have that. Okay. So we've got our heart in the center of our canvas. We have a pink. Now we're going to go find a text. I use text. I really liked Banana Pumpkin, and that was the one that came up recently. So see what this looks like if I change this to love. Hey, that's great. I think I actually really like that. Let's change this to white, like this. All right, because I think I might be using white vinyl for the word. Now, corner and resize it, but then if you hover outside of this little curve, and that means you can rotate it. I actually think that I really like that. I'm going to click on love, and I really like, I'm going to make it just a tiny bit smaller. And then I'm thinking an offset. So I'm going to try that. So I'm going to click offset, and the default is 2500, so 0.25. And we want the corners to be rounded. And what you'll notice is this blue line right here is what you'll kind of look like. Now you can make this like skinnier. Okay, you can make it closer to your object. And you can also get bigger. You want to make sure you have the weld offsets around each individual letter. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going to move this out over here. Okay, so the default looks like this. That's a little too much for me. And I'll get a little bit closer. See what that looks like. Definitely want to weld. And hit apply. Okay. Oh, I like that. That looks great. Okay, now don't worry about the colors because we're going to be changing them anyway. But for aesthetic purposes, I'm actually going to change my heart. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make this, I'm going to go down here to advance, and I'm going to make it a little more like this, just to really, there we go, a little more, right. I'm going to leave, I think I'm going to leave love in white, but the offset, I'm going to change the offset to that pink. In fact, I think I'm going to make it the lighter pink because that's what my vinyl will look like. Okay. All right. And then, all right. Now, if you move, see how that moves away right there? Okay, so I want to come over here And I want to go to contour on my offset. Since I'm putting the word love on top of it in white, I don't need all these little cutouts. So I'm actually going to come over here to hide all contours. And now it's one big solid love. And there, like this. Okay, oh, that looks so good. So the offset will cut a big solid piece of pink vinyl. Now the love, I'm going to ungroup those letters. So ungroup, and that will allow me to work with each letter individually, because I want to weld them together. Actually, I'm going to click on love. Now instead of moving the letters around where I want them, I think I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do weld. Okay, and what that does is it creates a solid continuity, and then it makes it one big. Okay, so the love on white, leave out these middle pieces. Then we will place that over the pink, and then we will place all of that on top of the heart, which will go on the canvas. Let me put this over here. Now let's talk about, okay, kind of get that a little curved, and maybe not so curved, more like that. Okay, and then I love how the E of this E matches up with the heart, and then this part right here of the L matches up. I think that's great. Oh my gosh, I love this. I can't wait to put it together. Okay, so hide the square because that's my canvas. I don't need to see it. I don't need to cut it. Nothing. This looks great. Okay, let's go over to make and see what everything looks like. Go over to make. Okay, we have love up in the top mat. That'll be in white. We have the heart right here, and that will be in our little kissy face vinyl. I call it, it's called Kisses. And then here's pink. Now I'm going to show you a really cool trick. I really like to save time. So instead of having 3 separate mats with 3 separate vinyls, which we need 3 separate vinyls, I'm going to take all of these vinyls and I'm going to move them all to the front mat. Now what will happen when I do that is they will turn white. Okay, everything will turn white, but that's okay. I don't need to worry about that right now. So the pink love got moved to the white mat. It did change it white, but, or the offset is pink, but I know that I'm going to use pink vinyl for the love. Go to the heart. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to move this to my first mat, and it'll also turn that white. And okay, so this is going to be the Kiss vinyl. Now I am going to need to place these items here on the mat so that when I'm going to cut basically vinyl out in the size that I need. Okay, and I like to save as much vinyl as possible. So I think I'm going to attempt to rearrange these things just a little bit. Get them kind of, all right, so we'll put that there. Okay, I think that will work. And then I'm going to take the love and put that there. So this particular piece, this offset, will be a little bit lower than the 5. And then I think I will have it go to the 3. I'll go ahead and let that happen. And then I'm going to leave it some space because starting at the 4, I'll have the regular love that'll be in white. Right here, this will be my Kisses. Okay, so something that I like to do, especially when I'm working with smaller pieces of vinyl, is I like to turn it over. So now this is the Kisses. It is adhesive vinyl. It's from Expressions Vinyl. And I like to turn it over like this. I just grab a pen. I know that I needed to go down to 5. And we said 5 by 6. Get this lined up. And this isn't going to affect my cutting at all. This is simply going to help me be able to save some vinyl. Okay, so the offset was going to be 3 inches by 5 inches, and we'll get that cut. Now you're certainly welcome to leave it all on separate mats, just load and go, but I like to just cut once. All right, so we've got our kisses will be here. Our offset will be on this side. Definitely not a big enough piece of scraps, so we will need to use our new white vinyl. Okay, so I have all of my vinyl cut out in the size that I need. I will save this other piece of white for a different project. Save, save, save as much as you can. Vinyl and transfer tape. Okay, so we're going to put the kisses over here. All right. Then we're going to have, this is our offset on this side. Okay, so I just had my assistant just walked in the door. I'm going to have her help us. I'm going to make sure we use our brayer and get this really nice and adhered. Okay, I'm going to open now. So what's going to happen is it will cut in the 3 different areas. Okay, so I just have to load this one time. So we're going to load this under the tabs. Make sure. All right. Let's move this a little bit out of the way so you can see both processes going. This will be great. Okay, so I'm going to hit continue. It's going to be finding my maker. Just a side note, on the power button of your maker, Maker 3, which is what I have, the power button is generally white, and then once this connects to it, it turns blue. So that's a great thing. We have premium vinyl, removable, and then I'm going to do more pressure. I tend to do more pressure all the time, and I don't need any pens or tools here. My fine point blade is loaded in clamp B, and the Cricut maker is asking me to load. Okay, so I'm going to have my assistant go ahead and hit that flashing load button. Okay, and then it's going to measure the mat. It's going to make sure we have a mat large enough, that we have all of our vinyl in place, that everything is ready to go. And then she will hit the play button for us once it starts blinking. Okay, and then this will cut out for us. It's going to be just awesome. Okay, so we're all cut out. We're going to unload, and now normally before I actually hit unload, I do pretty much tend to check, and a lot of times by feel, especially if the vinyl is such that I can't really see the cut, but this is really good. Oh, this just cut so gorgeous. I cannot wait to do this. When you go to remove your vinyl from the mat, go ahead and close this. Actually, let me move some of these things, clean up this little area. Okay. So when I first started, I would just leave my mat like this and start to pull, and whether it was paper or vinyl, it would always like curl and not look really good. So I've learned that we're going to peel away the mat from the vinyl. And it just bends really super nicely, and then my vinyl stays pretty darn flat. Okay, so the story behind this canvas is I'm very sad because this was an Audrey Hepburn canvas, and just I have some Audrey Hepburn art and I just love it. But anyway, I have no idea what happened, but I'm making this for us, so it won't matter, but there's like a huge little, like a wet watermark on it. So I was so sad, and I didn't want to throw it away. It didn't feel right. So I painted this, several coats of this. This was what I had, the Decor Art Patio Paint Outdoor, actually. It's in Cloud White. It has a really nice glossy finish, and this was from Michael's. I need to get a new bottle of chalk paint, so this is what I had on hand. That's definitely what I used. And so we're going to just turn this into a little Valentine's Day sentiment to hang in our home. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to do some weeding. Okay, so this is our heart pattern. Now, when I'm looking at this, and I'm sure you guys are going to think I'm nuts, but there is a ton of extra vinyl on here that I can totally use for other projects. So I think I am literally going to just cut around this heart so that I can save these pieces for another day, another project, and then we will weed off the rest. I just pierce it, pull it back, and it just comes off. It's like butter. It is so smooth. I love it. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. All right, and then that will go on here when we get it ready. Okay, so the next deal, now there's really no, I don't know that there's really any salvaging on this one except for this one area over here. And again, you are welcome to not save scraps, but vinyl is so expensive. And being a teacher, I like to reduce, reuse, and recycle as much as possible. So we're just gonna gently peel this up. Oh, that looks so fun right there. Throw that in our little trash bin, and we're gonna weed out these letters. I like weeding. It is very therapeutic for me, and I think it's because it's easy and I do a lot of thinking all day, and it's kind of, I don't want to say mindless, but it is kind of like autopilot. All right, and so yes, I think I can save some, a little bit, not too much, but you never know when you might need a tiny little piece, like earlier when I just needed some for my labels, for my binder clips. So we will all right, we're going to, now this one's going to be super easy because this is the offset. It's just one ginormous love word. All right. Okay, so what's going to happen is we are going to get the heart placed, and then we will have the love. We'll place the love down, the offset, and then we will have this on top of that. It'll just look so sweet. I don't need a lot of transfer tape either. So, and yes, I do reuse the transfer tape. It is actually quite sticky, and so I can totally reuse the transfer tape until it is no longer sticky. And we'll just pierce that up like we are reading. Grab that. Okay. Now this is a pretty big piece, but overall I did not have any trouble. Okay, I'm gonna burnish this down really good, and I do both sides. And this ensures that the vinyl is on that transfer tape so that when we peel up the carrier sheet, that it is good to go. Okay, so now we've got this 6x6 square, and I'm actually, this is going to be working out really well here. definitely in the middle, horizontally. And all right, I'm going to go for it. Okay. There we go. I think that's good. Okay. Then I'm going to pull the transfer tape up. Very Oh, that looks so good. Okay, now we're going to lay down, in fact, I think I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this love with transfer tape and place it over here so I can get that all centered correctly. Moving this out of the way. Perfect. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the love here. Whoa, that is like super. There we go. When you have really big pieces or really long pieces of vinyl project, you can take the backing off a little at a time. But these are a little bit small, so. Okay, so then we will take off this carrier sheet. And I see, I don't know what that is, or this. Okay, and then we're going to take this and put it, not sure what this is. We'll get rid of that. All right, so we're going to make sure everything looks, wow, that looks really good. By doing it this way, so we've layered this vinyl here, we will only have to transfer this one time. And we'll know that the love is centered on its offset correctly. So bring this guy in over here, and I'm going to peel away the carrier sheet. Okay, so now remember, we were going to have the indentation of this E and this indentation here line up, and let me see about, okay, so that's lined up over there. Being gentle on the front because obviously there's nothing on the back of the canvas. I probably could have put a book under there, but okay, so I think that's good. And we're going to pull off this transfer tape, and we're going to go slow because I want to make sure that nothing is going to come off. Oh my goodness, that looks fantastic. Oh, this is so cute. It will look really cute on the counter, or I could hang it up even, but I think that looks so good. And because it's removable vinyl, I can always take it off and change it out for the seasons, but I don't know. I mean, I just might leave that. It's not a big piece. I don't have to worry about massive storage space with this one. But anyway, that looks fantastic. Well, I absolutely love that you were here with me today. I hope that I've inspired you to not only try something new with cutting out the multiple colors all at one time, but using offset as well as repurposing something that perhaps was damaged or couldn't be used as intended. So we just made a lovely new little sentiment. Okay, we will see you next time, and happy crafting.